Not great if it was originally a 2000 milliamp hour battery, but it's not terrible. Not great, not terrible. Um, that's not foreboding at all, is it? Okay, so this video went very differently from how I thought it would be. I thought this would be a fairly quick and cool project of trying to see if I can rebuild these Worx power tool batteries or if they're doing some anti-right to repair bullshit with the controller on the battery. They're not. It turns out you can rebuild them. They're not counting charge cycles or holding anything in RAM that will die when the battery loses power. You can rebuild them with batteries. However, in doing this, I've found that all of these like portable, handheld, whatever, these spot welders that don't plug into a wall are fucking garbage. I picked up a bunch of dead 18650s from a local douche flute emporium, and I tried it out, and it started out really good. As you can see here, we're going to do a couple tests on some of the dead batteries, and they hold really strong, really nice positive connection. And between every 4 or 6 welds, I would, and I'm talking about a pair, so every 3 or 4 times, whatever that I would use it, I would heavily sand the tips, and I kept making sure the battery was fully charged, and it just seemed to progressively decrease in quality the entire time. Welding strips to themselves was also insanely frustrating. Either it would be not enough power and they would just come apart with a light twist, or eventually I figured out that I had to put a metal backing plate and have the power set to 9 out of 9.9. And the backing plate kind of heat sunk it, and then that would hold them together. But then they would kind of weld to the metal plate, which is weird because then it started not welding to batteries, like for some reason. I'm not sure why. And then you can see here I started doing like a basic test with some ones that I tested the capacity of off the old pack, and just to see if the battery management system would kick back into life. It did. So then I went on to build the new battery with the 4 amp hour one with all of the new batteries. But the problem is that the welder just started progressively getting worse and worse and not welding to the batteries at all. Yeah, it was just super frustrating. And I tried a different welder too before this one that you see here, this AWZ one. I tried some CC thing that was like handheld extruded aluminum that looked like it would be pretty good. That arrived with a battery discharge so safe it was unsafe. It was like 2.6 volts internally. That thing wouldn't work for shit either. And then yeah, this one started out really well and really promising, and it got to the point where I just soldered the batteries together. Like I was not confident at all in the connections that it was making. They were falling apart super easily. The lightest bit of twist on any of them would just have them pop off. I didn't trust it, so I ended up just soldering to the 18650s. I know you're not supposed to, but you can if you do it quickly and you're careful, and I was more confident in that connection than anything else. I figured if I kept trying to use the spot welder, or even if I got a more powerful one that plugs into the wall, that would cost me double what this one did, and sure, it would probably work better because it would use capacitors and stuff, but I'm probably going to blow through the casing of the battery after trying to do it half a dozen times. So I don't know. If you're trying to rebuild battery packs, don't get the cheap battery-powered ones. Like, don't get the battery spot welders that are handheld that just charge up and then you use them. Get one that's always plugged into the wall. But the good news is you can rebuild Worx batteries, and now that I get to return a second shitty spot welder, it means it was even cheaper. So, at least there's that much. And, I don't know. Maybe this is moderately entertaining. You don't get to see me burden myself a bunch, but